Overlord Season 4 Episode 9. And man, this episode starts really strong because in the last episode we got a probable solution that the king had, King Ramposa III. We probably stopping the war and we didn't actually know what that solution was because, the episode ended like that with him declaring that he had an idea to stop the war. And this episode starts with that, with him telling Albedo what that idea that he has to probably stop the war is, and that idea is with him offering his head, which to be honest I didn't actually think he was going to do that. I didn't think anything, but that is definitely not one of those things that I expected to happen, of him offering his head. So yeah, everybody's surprised. Prince Anak is surprised. Princess Renner is surprised, which is actually shocking. But if we're being honest, she doesn't actually care that much about the king. Or maybe she does, but yeah, she is even surprised in this episode. Or appears to be surprised. So yeah, that is basically how the episode starts. It started very strong with that declaration of the king to Albedo of offering his head to stop the war. But of course, as I said in the last episode, and as I correctly speculated, that no matter what solution the king had, that it wasn't going to be enough to stop the war, because at this point Ainz, the Murge, Albedo, and everyone of the Sorcerer Kingdom basically wanted to have a war, wanted to destroy the kingdom. Baron Philip doing that thing that he did of stopping the carriages and sabotaging them, and stopping the fruit from getting to the theocracy was just another excuse. And yeah, at this point, no matter what the king, Prince Anak, or anybody else said, it was not going to function because, they're looking for war basically. And that is the case because Albedo even laughs at the king because she says that she's surprised because she didn't actually think that the king was that of not of a fool, but that desperate to take those measures. And of course, she laughs also because she rejects the offer that the king has and that they will still go to war. And of course, everybody is shocked and everybody is kind of scared because now they have to go to war with the Sorcerer Kingdom. And they know what happened at the Concept Plains, that facing the Sorcerer Kingdom is not a good idea because at this point everybody knows, not only the kingdom but everybody else, every nation that exists right now knows that going against the Sorcerer Kingdom is actually not a good idea. And of course, the kingdom now that is going to war with the Sorcerer Kingdom is, actually pretty scared, to be honest. And it is explained by Albedo that they have 1 month apparently to prepare to go to war. In 1 month time they are going to go to war. And yeah, that is how the talk ends. That is how the brief interaction between Albedo, the king, ends. And yeah, we also have a little scene about Brain, and his sword and the children that he's taking care of. And he's basically talking about Gasef, Stronov, about his sword, and about other things, about probably escaping with the kids and things of that nature. And he explains that the sword was basically pushed down by Princess Renner to him, which is actually pretty curious because I wonder why the princess did that, because we know that Ainz is interested in the sword. And yeah, it is pretty interesting to see that Princess Rainer actually pushed down the sword to Brain. I don't know what reason she has for that. Maybe there isn't actually any reason to it. Maybe I'm thinking too much. But yeah, it is pretty interesting to see that, especially because that was a whole scene in this episode with Brain talking about that. So yeah. And yeah, remember how I said that Albedo said that they had 1 month to prepare before they attack the kingdom? Well, in this same episode we get the time skip. We get the month time skip, and I don't know if this is something that was supposed to happen this fast. I don't know if this is being rushed in the anime. I haven't read the source materials, or maybe people are mad or something like that because maybe there was something skipped, or I don't know. I wonder if this episode was how it was supposed to be adapted. I don't know if that is the case. Maybe in the future, if I read the source material, I will find out. But yeah, that happens in this episode. And basically, the story continues with Ainz talking with the Murge, with Albedo and everyone else about what they're going to do now that 1 month has passed. And apparently they have been attacking northern villages of the kingdom. And it was pretty interesting to see why Ainz looked at Pestonia and, coughed and was kind of weirded out when he looked at Pestonia. But in the same episode we get explained the reason why he did that. And the reason is that he had made a promise with Pestonia and with Albedo's sister, which is actually pretty interesting because I actually didn't expect to get introduced to this character in this episode. Her personality was actually also pretty interesting. I actually didn't think she was going to be that type of person. I mean, in general, I actually didn't even think we were going to get introduced to her. But when we got introduced further to her personality, to how she acts, and stuff of that nature, I was even more surprised. So yeah, that is actually pretty interesting. And it is also briefly mentioned that she was suspended by Ainz. Apparently Nigredo was suspended by Ainz, and also Albedo was not too happy with this, with her being suspended. It was mentioned by Ainz that she was not too happy with it. I don't know if she was not too happy with her being suspended or with the fact that she was suspended, with the fact that Nigredo got suspended. So yeah, it is not explain if she's mad at Ainz for getting her suspended, or if she's mad at Nigredo herself for getting suspended. I think that Albedo was actually mad at Ainz for getting her suspended, which is actually pretty interesting because we don't actually see that much of Albedo getting mad at Ainz. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm interpreting this wrong. Maybe it wasn't actually Ainz that got her suspended. Maybe it was Sebas or somebody else, so who knows. But yeah, I mean, that is actually pretty noteworthy to say the least. And I mean, basically the episode ends, or the latter part of the episode, which is basically the final part, ends with the undead having a fight with apparently people that are mutual adventurers. I think they are called the Four Armaments. I think that was their names. And we get introduced to another new character, a strong character at that. And one that is explained to be an Adamantite Adventurer, which is apparently part of the Vermilion Drop or Vermilion Red. I think there are different names for that, but yeah, he's part of that. And yeah, he destroys easily the two main undead warriors, which were the ones causing the most chaos to everybody of the opposition. And yeah, he shoots basically at them and destroys them. And I mean, Ainz at the end of the episode is all like, yeah, it was expected that was going to happen. But let's be honest, I mean, he wasn't actually expecting that. He was caught by surprise. I don't think Ainz thought that his undead warriors, or whatever you want to call them, were going to get that easily destroyed by this red warrior, by this Adamantite warrior. And yeah, I mean, I don't think he expected that, to be honest. I didn't think he expected that strong of a warrior to suddenly appear. But yeah, let's see if that is the case in the next episode. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty interesting to see how the episode ended. Let's see what goes on from here. Let's see if anything else happens. Let's see if the war continues, which to be honest it will. And yeah, I mean, that is everything that happened in the episode. I don't know if I missed something important, but I think that is mainly the most important things that happened throughout the whole episode. And I hope you enjoyed my episode review, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.